Okay guys, hi. I'm just going to show you some practical applications of some of our simple machines. Here's some blinds. Seems like it's a little dark, but if you guys have ever used a blind before, you've used a pulley, okay? And so you release it, it goes down. This is just a pulley that doesn't have any mechanical advantage. It's just changing the direction of force, okay? And so I'm just going to go around and show you a bunch of real-life examples today, things that you've probably used or seen, and maybe this will help you as you write your sentences. Obviously, here's a wheel and an axle. Remember, you turn the wheel, the axle's on the inside, and it's turning to make the knob go in, but the wheel and the axle, you have a larger wheel turning a smaller axle, and that's what gives us our mechanical advantage. Here's another example of a pulley. You can see up there's a pulley. This is from a chicken coop. Every night I pull up this ramp, so there's an inclined plane too. I had to put some of those boards on there so the chickens could actually walk up, but it was a little too slick for them. But that's a ramp for them to get into the coop. But every night, to just keep them safe from the raccoons and skunks and whatever else, foxes, I pulled down on the cable on the outside. So I'll show you. There's the chickens. Hi, chickens. And so we'll pull down on this cable on the outside, and it's got a grooved wheel, so this is also one that doesn't have a mechanical advantage. It's just a one-to-one, and when I pull it down, okay, I just pull down. It takes quite a bit of force. That door is pretty heavy. You can see it going up, okay, and it'll go all the way up to where it's safe for those chickens at night. They just stay in there at night so nothing can get to them. But then when I let it back down, so it's just used to change direction of force. Okay, I had to enlist some helpers for this. These are my kids, wave kids. Say hi, students.
Hi.
Okay, so here is a trailer. If you look at the bottom of the trailer, there's actually an inclined plane that's designed into the trailer, but this is a ramp trailer. And so as the kids walk down this way to me, okay kids, okay, you can see there's a hydraulic, but you can see that it's going to slant down, and if they stayed on there long enough and wait a little bit more, the ramp is going to go all the way to the ground. So it's just a lot easier to load. If you guys remember seeing that shed that we built with the 8th graders, we just pushed it right up on here. My tractor couldn't lift it all the way, but it could push it, so there's a mechanical advantage to the ramp for sure. Okay, I'm just going to continue kind of with the crash course here. Just show you a bunch of different simple machines. These are wedges. If you look at them, they're designed specifically for chiseling. Okay, so we could take a look at what they're used for. They can split things, so I could hammer that and it would split it pretty easy. These are chisels as well, and so if you look at the edge there, designed specifically to break things apart. Remember, the output force goes down and the other things go apart, like with the axe that we showed in class. Also, a lot of times there's designed specifically even like pry bars, so they'll have a wedge on the end so you can get underneath things, okay, and then you can pry them up a lot easier because of that wedge. So we'll be able to pry that off easier, or even on these shorter ends, you can just put it in there. You can pry up. So this is obviously a compound machine, but you're gonna put it in there, you're gonna be able to pry up and you can get that metal out of the wood. It comes up fairly easily when you have that leverage. So this is a lever, wedge on the end. So compound machine. These are all probably compound machines too, because once you get them into the wood, you would lever them to break them apart. Another great example of a wedge on the end, claw hammer, but also a lever as well. Here's a great example. This is a bar, and so it's got a wedge on the end. It actually has such a good wedge. It's got all covered in mud because it went into the mud. It's pretty heavy. It's a long bar. Okay, so this bar is about a 6-foot bar. Lots of leverage on that. So another compound machine. Okay, here's another example of a pulley. Okay, so if you see this, it's got the grooved wheel. It's got the cable going in it. This would be a fixed pulley, so once again, no mechanical advantage, but it's a compound machine. So if you look, there's a grooved wheel, there's a cable, it's got a lever attached to it. This is called a come along. And so this is a big old heavy metal table. It's what we use for our cutting of our metal in construction classes, 8th grade. And so that thing weighs a lot. And so I can lift it really easily. You can see I'm barely putting any force in because I've got the leverage, and you can see that it's lifting up really quickly and easily. And so just making work easier, okay? It's a compound machine. It's got the pulley up there, so it's changing the force, but you can see it's almost lifted off the ground. Really simple, okay? Here's a jack. You can see the jack. It's got a handle, so this would be like a wheel and an axle and a lever all in one. You can see that this spins, so as I'm jacking up and down. So just good examples all around you. If you guys have trailers at your house, you've probably seen that. Screws, lots of different types of screws here. In my class, we looked at just a couple the other day, but we can just take a look here at these different types of screws. And you know, just shorter ones that have less mechanical advantage, longer ones that are a little bigger around, so they would have to travel a lot further, so there's going to be more mechanical advantage. There's another long one. These two guys are the same purpose. A couple drywall screws, one's short, one's long. Obviously, oops, get them out here in the sun, sorry. That one's going to be the better one for holding, but sometimes you don't need that much. So you'd get these. You can take a look at these different screwdrivers. These are both Phillips screwdrivers. Okay. And so actually all three of these, I brought all three of these. So it's kind of in order of... Yep. Okay. Thank you. It's kind of in order of what would probably be the best to screw with. This is a tiny one, so you wouldn't have much grip. So that's that wheel and axle. A little bit better here, and then the best because this is the biggest around, so you'd have the most mechanical advantage with the widest one. But you can kind of see small, medium, large to screw these in. Okay. Here's another compound machine. These are horse nippers, so they help to get rid of the long feet that horses get sometimes, but they've got levers, right? So you'd open them up, and then got wedges on the end. Okay. Down here we got a couple different shovels. Obviously the taller shovel would be better for leverage, and it's probably going to be a little bit shorter or sharper because the blade's a little bit shorter, but they've got different uses. Okay. And scissors, a lot of you I know on your projects talked about scissors as your compound machine. So the levers are the handles, the wedges here, these are actually tin snips, so they'll actually cut metal, and they've got a longer leverage to them and fully metal, sharpened pretty sharp. And then lastly, this would be a compound complex machine, so we're using electricity. It's got a chisel on the end. I used this chisel the last day to take tile up out of my room. So it was cemented down or mortared down, and I had to pry them all up, and so this machine helped me a lot. So anyways, I hope this helped you. Just a lot of practical, easy applications. Okay, and I miss you guys. I hope you're faring well. I hope everybody's staying healthy. I just want you guys to know that we're here teaching you still, and we care about you learning. So hopefully we'll see you soon.